India is not only a land of religion, it is also a land of atheism, humanism, free thought and rationalism. Materialism is the basic concept that underlines ancient atheism. It is as ancient as Indian philosophy itself and deeply rooted in the speculative philosophy. According to Hindu tradition, an atheist is not just one who denies the existence of God, but also one who defies the authority of Vedas, the scriptures. Samkhya, an early system of rationalist philosophy, had its roots in pure philosophic speculation concerning Prakruti, a complex primal substance, and Purusha, a sentient principle that was held to have distributed Prakruti, thus triggering the evolution of the contemporary universe. The process was described without any reference to Ishvara, that is God. Kapila, revered as the founder of Indian philosophy in 800 BCE, is considered the founder of Samkhya, sometimes termed as Nirishwara Samkhya or Nirishwara meaning godless. Samkhya proceeds from the ideas of Swabhava, the physical reality or laws of nature, and Parinama, an active principle best summarized as evolution. The Samkhya system was originally atheistic, but over generations, theists succeeded in smuggling God into it, presenting a supreme spirit ruling over both Prakruti and Purusha. The followers of Mimamsa school, which has established the authority of the Vedas, classical Hindu scriptures, set such stock by Vedic ritual that they felt no need for a god. They believed that merely chanting mantras would produce certain effects directly. So for them, the devas or nature spirits described in Vedas had only verbal significance and did not actually exist. The Nyaya school, believed to be founded by Gautama, variously dated between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE, was also rationalistic, stressing above all rigorous logic in augmentation. The philosopher Kanada, dates are unknown, who founded the rationalistic Vaisheshika school, believed in the existence of atoms. But the later advocates of the Nyaya and Vaisheshika systems imported God into them, rendering them theistic. The Charvakas and Lokayatas, the schools of philosophy, also flatly denied the existence of God and belittled God's importance in shaping human affairs. The Lokayata system, which believed only in the 4 classical elements and the world of experience, is considered the foremost materialistic philosophy of ancient India. Only perpetual evidence is authority. The elements are earth, water, fire and air. Matter can think. There is no other world. Death is end of all. The Jaina and Buddhist schools of thought developed around 500 BCE independently of the Vedic tradition. Their great exponents, the Jaina commentator Gunaratna and his Buddhist counterpart Santarakshita, put forth convincing arguments against the existence of any god. Thus, ancient India is not only a cradle of religion but also atheism. History demonstrates that unbelievers or non-believers were numerous in ancient India, even in the times during which the Upanishads were compiled. Long before the advent of Buddha, there were atheists known as Nastics or Sangaya, nihilists or agnostics. Reverted philosophers including Purana Kashyapa and were unbelievers. Even the central Hindu epic, the Ramayana, depicts Satyakama Jabali, a teacher of humble birth who was openly skeptical about the existence of God. The later Upanishads and the oldest Buddhist books alike name numerous heretics who denied the existence of God. The Hindu sage Brihaspati was an icon of this school of thought. The previously mentioned Charvakas and Lokayatas condemned superstitions and Hindu orthodoxy. They challenged the concept of rebirth, the idea of soul and diverse religious authority of Vedas and Upanishads. They spread the Nastika movement far and wide, challenging the supremacy of Brahmins whose prestige rested in the paths of those scriptures. The Jain teacher Mahavira and Buddha also advocated unbelief, though in a refined manner. Buddha's teachings essentially made God unnecessary. He claimed enlightenment but never inspiration, and never pretended that the God was speaking through him. He founded Buddhism without making any reference to God. The positive materialistic content of Buddhism was very popular in India for nearly 1,000 years. Unlike Jainism and Buddhism, the Nirishwara Samkhya, Charvakas and Lokayata schools never enjoyed royal patronage. They were simply rationalistic, materialistic, and atheistic. The followers were excommunicated and persecuted. The legendary lawgiver Manu is said to have given an injunction in 15 BCE that the Nastika should be driven out of a good society. Over the centuries, this dictate was frequently obeyed. The manuscripts of every atheist thinker were destroyed. For example, the Charvaka school died out shortly after 14 CE. Its principal work survived only as fragments cited in the works of Hindu and Buddhist opponents. But even those fragments reveal that the early atheists were bold freethinkers. Theists could not ignore them. And atheistic free thought enjoyed strong support, and its ideas had to be taken seriously and faced rigorously. Atheism has strong roots in traditional Indian wisdom. Traditional Indian atheism is then truly ancient. It represented an extensive area of clear agreement among the traditional Indian atheism. These philosophers represent diverse worldviews. Thus, atheism in India had to develop with a peculiar self-sufficiency on its own. Philosophers had to defend atheism as such without allowing its admixture with their other preoccupations. For Lokayatas, atheism formed part of a clear and consistent materialistic outlook. They denied God in order to make room for the doctrine of the exclusive reality of the material elements. It was more or less true, as well as in the case of Sankhya philosophers. Ancient atheist philosophers did their best to prove that, logically speaking, God was only an illusion, and they were greatly successful in their efforts. Atheism and theism represented for them clear-cut and diametrically opposed philosophical positions. They concluded firmly that God is a simple superstition, an empty assumption, and an object of misdirected reverence. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to this channel Positive Atheism and activate the bell icon.